We begin this hour with breaking news. A guilty verdict in the case of Jose Ibarra, his trial accused of killing nursing student Laken Riley in Athens, Georgia. That verdict read within the last hour or so. Let's listen to it.
I'll now announce the verdict. In the state of Georgia versus Jose Antonio Ibarra, case SU 24CR0323, count 1, malice murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 2, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 3, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 4, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 5, kidnapping with bodily injury. I find the defendant guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault with intent to rape. I find the defendant guilty. Count 7, aggravated battery. I find the defendant guilty. Count 8, obstructing or hindering a 911 call. I find the defendant guilty. Count 9, tampering with evidence. I find the defendant guilty. Count 10, peeping Tom. I find the defendant guilty. I certainly will allow both sides to look at this if you want to do it. The next step is sentencing. I'm prepared to go forward with that now, or if either side suggests that you need a few minutes, an hour break or something to do that, then I'll certainly do that as well. Consider that. Sure.
CBS News correspondent Manuel Bojorquez joins us live outside that courtroom in Athens, Georgia. Manny, thank you so much for sticking with us. The judge wasting no time with that verdict, guilty on all counts. And it's worth noting you're on recess, and the judge is expected to call you back in about a half an hour for the sentencing part of that phase. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, that's right. The maximum sentence in this particular case is going to be life in prison without the possibility of parole. So the judge, after delivering that verdict, decided that they would take a break, and then he would come back after the lunch break, possibly to announce the sentence in this case. But after the very first guilty count that he announced, you could hear sobbing in the courtroom. This has been such a incredibly difficult experience for the family and the friends of Laken Riley, because they've had to listen to testimony that revealed how she was beaten. There were times where they were sobbing, and also when they had to walk out of the courtroom because the testimony and the evidence was just too graphic for them to handle. So you might imagine that now they're maybe feeling at least a little bit a sense of relief in that he was found guilty on all counts. The judge, of course, saying, look, the evidence is just too overwhelming in this case. There's DNA evidence presented by the prosecution that his DNA was under her fingernails, indicating there was a struggle, putting him at the scene of the crime. And the defense's argument here that perhaps they had the wrong person, maybe it was his brother who did it, just did not resonate with the judge. Yeah,
it was interesting. I mean, you talk about the overwhelming evidence. As you mentioned, there was DNA evidence. There was also surveillance footage. And prosecutors saying this really comes down to really good police work, and they got very lucky with some of that footage that they were able to obtain. Can you walk us through that and how it all has to do with this Adidas hat?
Yeah, there was a few pieces of video evidence that were critical to the case. One of him lurking around an apartment complex in the area of the murder. They said that happened earlier. They say he was peeping Tom, trying to look into a woman's apartment there. There was video of him near the jogging trail. There was also video of him, according to the prosecution, throwing away a jacket. They say that's a jacket he was wearing, that there was his DNA in it and the DNA of Laken Riley. And then there was that hat that apparently he borrowed from his brother. Now, the defense are saying, look, that hat should give you reasonable doubt that it could have been the brother who did it. But all the other DNA evidence, according to the prosecution, and the judge agreed, point to Jose Ibarra.
Now, the brothers of Jose Ibarra playing a big role in this case, and they actually were supposed to take the stand yesterday, but at the last minute, they decided not to bring them to the stand. Can you walk us through why that decision was made?
That's right. The defense wanted them to testify in an effort really to muddy the waters, to say could have been this brother, could have been this brother. They all lived in the same apartment. Those brothers currently have immigration cases going on as well. So there was a concern by the lawyer of one of the brothers, Diego, that that could impact his immigration case, taking the stand in this case. So the defense apparently decided to back down and not have the brothers testify and just go with the testimony that they had. They really had a much shorter witness list than the prosecution did in this case, and they were trying to poke holes in the method of testing, the DNA testing that was done by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. But again, those arguments just didn't hold any water for the judge.
And this trial has really kind of gripped the nation, and especially the community in Athens, Georgia. It's sort of put gas on the fire of this immigration debate. Can you talk a little bit about the impact that this trial has had, not only on the nation, but also for that community?
Yeah, you know, this community was, of course, hard hit by this, the fear that someone could do something to a student. This is a college town. But in the greater scheme of things, this became a politically charged issue as well. President-elect Trump many times invoked her name on the campaign trail when talking about the issues at the border and illegal immigration. So this case was much bigger than just what happened inside the courtroom. There were political ramifications to all of this, of course, but for the family and friends, what really mattered today was hearing that verdict.
All right, CBS News CBS News correspondent Manny Bojorquez in Athens, Georgia for us. Thanks so much, Manny.